Sometimes you feel stuck and you just need a mentor to wedge you out. Hey, it's Scott Beebe, the Business on Purpose podcast, mybusinessonpurpose.com/vision. Was on a run recently, and on the way back from my run, got finished, and I thought I ran pretty hard. I don't know that you would have thought I ran pretty hard, but where I live in the low country of South Carolina, it was summer, it was hot, it was sticky, it was muggy, and it was late in the evening on a Friday, or late in the afternoon on a Friday. When I got done, I started to walk around my circle of the little street that we live, and I was pouring sweat. And I've been thinking as I was running, and a lot of times when I'm running, I'll either listen to a podcast, sometimes I've told you about, actually this year listening to the One Year Bible on podcast. And so that's been something I'll do while I'm running. And so I happened to be doing that, and when I got done, I just had this feeling of kind of feeling stuck. And I don't even know if it was stuck in life, stuck in business, stuck in whatever you want to call it, but I just had the emotion, the feeling, the sense that I was just stuck. And I hadn't talked to one of my mentors in quite some time, and this was a guy I reach out to, and we talk maybe twice a year, 3 times a year. And it's not a formal mentorship. I didn't sit down and apply for an application. I didn't ask him if he would mentor me. I just reach out to him. We've got a relationship, and I've got a place in his life, and he's got a place in my life where we just pick up the phone, and sometimes he'll call me, sometimes I'll call him. And in that moment of being stuck, the wisdom of a mentor came out. And he asked me 7 questions, and so I thought I would give them to you. Number 1, and I want you to understand, he asked these in the context of Ashley and I together, and I think it's a wise thing to do if you're in a relationship, of which Ashley and I are. We've been married for a little over 20 years at the time of this recording, that you begin to work some of these questions together and think through them together. Now, we've got our family vision. If you go to createafamilyvision.com, you can see that we've got a family vision that we have laid out as a family. And so we review that as a family on a regular basis. But in this case, to review these questions for just Ashley and I, and here are the questions. Number 1, where are we going? Where are we going? Now you might say, well, Scott, that's pretty broad, general, open-ended. Yeah, intentionally so. Where are we going? And just to give you some context, we've got somewhere in the neighborhood of about 8 or 9 bullet points to answer the question, where are we going? Number 2, what does our life look like down the road? What does our life look like down the road? Again, we've got some bullet points. In this case, we've got about 9 or 10 bullet points of what does our life look like down the road. Number 3, how has God wired us? How has God wired us? So this is a skill set discussion, and really drilling down on the idea of, for Ashley and I, how has God uniquely created us, designed us, wired us, fabricated us so that we can live out skill set value to the people that we have the privilege of being able to serve, including you. So it's important to you, the listeners of this podcast, that we ask that question. The next question, I believe this is number 4, is what have we always wanted to do? You know, this is kind of the kindergarten question. This is, hey, when you were childlike, what'd you want to do? Is it the fireman, the baseball player, the school teacher, whatever it is? What have you always wanted to do? Now, some of these might be elements of places you wanted to live. This is experiences that you wanted to be a part of, whatever it was. But what have you always wanted to do? The 6th question, what do we love to do right now? And really write that out. So we've got another 8, 9, 10 bullet points. I'm just realizing this as I'm sharing this with you, that each one of them has somewhere between 7 and 10 bullet points. The next to last question, maybe this is 6 or 7, is what is unique about how we do what we do? What is unique about how we do what we do? And then the final question, see yourselves in 40 years, and what do you see? Take a look at yourself 40 years down the road, and what do you see? Now, for a detailed snapshot of the future of your life, your business, 40 years is way too long. But to stop and think about issues of legacy, those are important questions to ask. So those questions, I think I marked out 7, maybe it's 8. Number 1, where are we going? Number 2, what does our life look like? Number 3, how has God wired us? Number 4, what have we always wanted to do? Number 5, what do we love to do? Number 6, what is unique about how we do what we do? And number 7, so there's your final number. In 40 years, what do you see? In 40 years, what do you see? I will let you know that Ashley and I spent about an hour to an hour and a half writing down our responses to these. I just wrote them down in a notebook. And then, of course, if you know me at all, you know I want to get these in digital format, so we put them on a Google Doc. And so we've got them. And then we pulled our notebook up over dinner as a family, and we shared each one of these with our kids. Now, we've got kids right now that are in their teenage years, and so they fully comprehend to their own level what mom and dad are talking about. So we started walking with this through them so they have some context on what we love to do. And what was super, super neat about laying that out to our kids is none of it surprised them. And that was kind of cool, because we think, maybe we're wrong, but we think that means that we're doing a half decent job of communicating our dreams, desires, and the things that we believe God has uniquely crafted, created, wired us, fabricated us to be able to do. And so I hope you'll spend some time working through those questions, those 7 powerful mentor-like questions, maybe with yourself, with you and your spouse. Maybe you share that with your kids, or maybe team members in your business. Why? Because we all need a mentor. And these are some great questions to be able to think through and reflect on. We'll see you next time, right here on the Business on Purpose podcast.